tonight's Academic Hall of Fame ceremony that we'll have for students that have done an outstanding job in the classroom, whether it be their freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, or their senior year. These students that will be inducted tonight are exceptional students from an academic perspective. I would like to take the opportunity to welcome our parents, our family members, our siblings that have attended tonight's function in support of your child or your grandparent or grandchild or your brother or sister. I would like to recognize this evening Dr. Falb, which is our board president. She's here with us this evening to celebrate the successes of our students. But we do have 10 individuals that we will induct this evening. Every student is not here tonight, but we are going to celebrate them anyhow, okay? So with that, I am going to turn it over to Mrs. Allen. Mrs. Allen is going to have a musical selection from the choir. Thank you. This will be a recorded selection. Thank you, students. Now we will have the selection from our choir. At this time, I'm going to invite Antonio Cole up with me. Antonio is our valedictorian of the senior class. Antonio also will be an inductee this evening. He is going to introduce our guest speaker this evening. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Antonio Cole, co-president of the Dr. Ernest Everett Just chapter of the National Honor Society and valedictorian of the class of 2013. A 1990 graduate from Ottawa Hills High School, she was active as an executive student class board member and a member of the National Honor Society. Ms. Harris was a dance instructor of the Trina and Shannon T.S. Dance and Show Choir Company. This company was founded and directed by her mother, Mrs. Ernestine Harris, and a retired school counselor from Ottawa Hills High School. Shannon L. Harris was inducted into the Ottawa Hills High School Academic Hall of Fame in 1988. Her high school words of wisdom were always have faith and believe in yourself. Please join me in welcome Ms. Harris.
Thank you, Antonio. I was hoping that my introduction wouldn't include when I graduated from high school, but oh well. I guess I have to live with that, right? Well, I first would like to thank Mrs. Bailey and the Principal Rodney Lewis, for inviting me here this evening. Mrs. Bailey asked me to do this probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I finally got the courage up to actually do it this year, so thank you for the challenge. So we're here tonight to celebrate you and your accomplishments. You've made numerous sacrifices to get here in this space and time, and I just wanted to say that we're all very proud of you. I remember being in your same position, as Antonio said, in high school, my sophomore, junior, and senior years, and I remember sitting in these same seats, being recognized for my academic accomplishments. I was going to share with you a little joke, but the joke was kind of spoiled by announcing when I graduated from high school. But I will say my picture is on the wall, so you're going to have to find my picture after the award ceremony. So I'm not going to stand up here and tell you to study hard, because you already do that. I'm not going to tell you that education is a key to success, because you know that already. And I'm not going to quote a bunch of philosophers that will inspire you for all of 30 seconds, and after you leave here, you'll forget all about it. So what I thought I'd do tonight is to share a little bit about myself and to offer you a few simple things to think about that will hopefully further enrich your lives outside of the classroom. And I'm going to attempt to do that in a succinct and creatively to the point way as possible, because honestly, who likes to hear long speeches, especially this time of year? I recently attended a graduation ceremony at a world-renowned university, and the commencement speaker was a physician and a graduate of that particular school. And he forewarned us ahead of time that he was not a motivational speaker. And this was evident about 10 to 15 minutes into his speech when all you can hear was this. And yeah, why is this guy here? Like, what is he talking about? Oh, do you want to go out to eat after? So hopefully that won't happen tonight as I'm standing here. And if it does, I'll skip to the last paragraph of this speech. But seriously, my challenge to all of you young people here today is to be thankful and to give thanks often, to hold on to your confidence like your life depended on it, and make it a habit to participate in experiences which eliminates your fears and illuminates your joy. So preparing for this speech tonight has made me go into the vaults of my mind as well as my photo album to remember the kind of person I was in high school. Now this is what I look like my senior year of high school. Prom, okay? This is my prom picture, all right? So I was doing a presentation on Saturday, and yeah, I had a lot of hair back then. Didn't know exactly what to do with it. I had so many hairstyles. One hairstyle I had was an asymmetrical hairstyle where this part was short and this part was long. And so I think at this time I was trying to grow out that style, so that was my prom picture. But both of my parents are educators, and doing well in school was a standard. It was an expectation. Like the young man said, I was a dancer. My mother was a high school counselor at this school for many years before she went on to GRCC and then retired in Florida. But she started the TS Dance Company and Show Choir of Ottawa Hills High School, so we used to practice all the time in the mall area, in the North House and the South House. She was actually, she created the Black College Tours as well back in high school, when I was in high school. So my mother was a great inspiration to me, and I think I turned out pretty good. I don't think she had any problems out of me, although there was one time, and she actually recently told me about this, that I was in elementary school, and I told one of my friends that I would meet her at the park, knowing I was going there to meet my 5th grade boyfriend. So we were at the park, and we're playing on the monkey bars, and then we went over to the swings. And everything was all good until I saw this white Caprice Classic roll up into the parking lot, and it was my mother. So, great times, great memories growing up, and what I really want to impart to you guys is that growing up in the household that I grew up in, dreams were something that was expected, and we were expected to dream big. So I once dreamed about being in a rock band. I had a guitar. I once dreamed about being an Olympic swimmer. I dreamed about owning a convenience store so that I would have an ample supply of candy at all times. So my desire and my ability to dream came from those that were before me that laid the foundation. God, my grandmother, mother, father, sister, brother, teachers, all of those that I've worked for, and everyone that has crossed paths with me have contributed to my dreams. So I say this to say this to you. I say that to say this to you, that to take the time and take the time often to give a shout out, a pat on the back, a simple thank you to all of those who have helped you in any and every capacity of life. Thanking someone humbles you. Thanking someone reminds you that your accomplishments oftentimes are made possible because a trail has been blazed, therefore making your road a little bit more easy to travel. And I'm sure that some of those people are here with you today, so I would like to acknowledge them again. Parents, teachers, counselors, principals, thank you. So when a parent or a loved one comes to support you in events like this, thank them. When your teacher shares something about themselves that inspires you, say thank you to them. When your principal tells you to get to class, thank him for that as well. In my high school days, I was also a very confident person. So as mentioned before, I was a dancer and a choreographer, and I was a huge Janet Jackson fan. And at times, I thought I was actually her. So I had all the moves down. She used to do this little move like this all the time, and I used to walk around school doing this, thinking I was Janet Jackson. So I knew every lyric, every ad lib. I could tell you when to listen for that keyboard sound and when the bass was gonna drop. No one could do it better than I could. I was equally confident in the classroom. I was almost a straight A student. I had a few B's here and there, but I was driven to be the best, not only to make my parents proud, but to make myself proud as well. After graduating from Ottawa Hills High School, I went to Virginia and attended Hampton University my first year. And I was so ready to deal with adult problems, I thought, at that time. So I was in high school, I didn't want to deal with the drama anymore and the pettiness and all that until I actually got to college. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am so scared. I was so scared, but I eventually got through the year, and I actually transferred to Florida A&M University and received a Bachelor's of Science degree in journalism. And my last semester, I would say, in school was the best semester, and not because I was graduating and not because I wanted to deal with additional adult problems, but I think that's when I came into my own. That's when I rediscovered how awesome I was. Not because others told me that I was, but I just rediscovered my confidence in my talents. What I like to say to you all here is to never lose confidence in your God-given abilities. There will always be someone else in the universe that will excel in areas that you don't, but don't allow that to diminish what you know in your heart is a true gift. The third takeaway from this speech tonight is you should always remember to make it a habit to participate in experiences that will eliminate your fears. Now, about 3 weeks ago, I traveled to Nassau, Bahamas for a vacation, and we stayed at the Atlantis. I'm sure you guys have seen the commercials. It's a fabulous place. And my agenda on my vacation was to do two things: to sit at the pool and go to the beach, and then go back to the pool, and then go back to the beach. So when we checked in, we received a complimentary punch card for some activities that were complimentary on the resort. And one of those experiences was an experience with a dolphin. Now, I've never had a desire to swim with fish, ever. And in fact, I respect animals and I know that they have a place in this world, but I'm not the kind of person that actively seeks their companionship. So people that know me know that I do have a fear of cats for whatever reason. I don't know why. I've never been attacked by a cat, so it's a little strange. But when I got this opportunity to swim with the dolphin, I wasn't immediately excited, but for some reason, I gradually felt compelled to sign up for the experience. So dolphins are supposed to be extremely friendly, and they seem like they always have a smile on their faces. My sister actually has a tattoo of a dolphin. Back in her 20s, she got this tattoo. So I figured, why not just sign up for it? Why not go for it, right? So I got all the details on what to bring, what time to be there for the next day. But the night before, I could not sleep. I was so anxious about the unknown. I was thinking, is this water gonna be cold? Am I gonna get my hair wet? Is this dolphin gonna like me? Is he gonna attack me? So I had all these things going through my head. Totally ridiculous, but the next morning I showed up on time. They gave us this wetsuit to put on and a brief orientation of the do's and don'ts. And then we're in the water. Now I have to admit, during the experience, I was completely shocked. I was nervous the whole time, but I'm so happy that I did it, because that experience has strengthened my desire to act against my fears. And I actually brought a picture of that experience. It's a little small, I don't know if you could see it or not, but this dolphin's name was Noah. And this picture is me feeding a fish to Noah. So I say that to say this: don't wait until you're an adult to allow yourself the privilege of spirit-filled experiences. Now, you may not be able to get a chance to chill with a dolphin, but you might be able to write a book, run a 5K, or stand here and speak to other people about your experiences. So God bless you. Thank you all for listening, and young people, congratulations once again. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Again, thank you for coming out. At this time, we're going to have dinner, so you're welcome to go to my left, and we'll be serving dinner. At this time, we're going to announce our Hall of Fame inductees for 2012-13 school year. Before I get started calling off the names, just so I can clarify to you all what the asterisks on the program mean. You'll see that our first recipient, Antonio Cole, has 3 asterisks behind his name. That represents his 3rd time on the Academic Hall of Fame. Those inductees that get more than 1 asterisk behind their name receives a gold lamp of knowledge pin. For the recipients that are on here for the first time, they'll get a chenille letter. Each individual will receive their own individual Academic Hall of Fame picture. This will also go up on the wall behind you. In addition to that picture, they'll receive their own individual picture. This year, the seniors will receive a much larger picture than this size. That's compliments of Doug Johnson of Keepsake Studios. So with that being said, Antonio Cole, would you please come up? This is Antonio's 3rd time on the Academic Hall of Fame. Antonio has a 3.64 GPA. Charnel James. This is Charnel's 1st time on the Academic Hall of Fame. Congratulations. And she has a 3.53. Those were both of our seniors. Miles Miller is a junior. He is absent, but this is Miles' 1st time on the Academic Hall of Fame, and his GPA is 3.77. For our sophomores, Shatori Bland is also absent, but this is her 1st time on the Academic Hall of Fame with a 3.94. Again, Fatma Mohammed is absent, and this is her 1st time on the Academic Hall of Fame. She also has a 3.94. Alasia Tardy. This is Alasia's 2nd time. She'll receive the Lamp of Knowledge pin. Her GPA is a 3.94. We have 4 freshmen this year who have made it on the Academic Hall of Fame with a 4.0 GPA. Anthony Alexander. As I stated, this is Anthony's 1st time, and he has a 4.0 GPA. Dong Nguyen, who is absent, has a 4.0 GPA, and this is his 1st time on the Academic Hall of Fame. Sherry Lynn Rosario. Is that right? Close enough. Sorry. This is her 1st time on the Academic Hall of Fame with a 4.0 GPA. And last is Jody Vo, who is also absent, 4.0 GPA, 1st time on the Academic Hall of Fame.
So this is the pillar of success that will be planted on the wall over there in the Academic Hall of Fame. It will sit under the class of the 2012. And so let's give it up for our recipients tonight. So that presentation will conclude our celebration this evening. I am very thankful that all the family and friends, staff, has decided to participate with us this evening. It's been a wonderful time. I would like to acknowledge Mrs. Wallace's work as she has planned and prepared and decorated the facility very well. So we would like to thank her. We would like to thank the teaching staff for all the hard work that they do. A lot of effort goes into teaching and learning in the classroom, and so we want to thank them as well. And for the administrative team, thank you for all that you do and all your work that you put in here at Ottawa Hills High School. Parents, I thank you very much for having the privilege to be able to educate your child every single day for 4 years. So that 48-month time period goes by very fast. And these young ladies and gentlemen are indicative of what we have here at Ottawa Hills High School when we look at the student achievement levels being at the highest level. So thank you and good evening, and have a wonderful night.